can I, by being good, help along in receiving forgiveness and salvation? I don't want anybody to misunderstand. We're not against Christians being good. That's okay. But not if you think by being good, you're going to somehow help with a better relationship with God or get into heaven. Okay, let's look and see what it says. Romans 4, 3-5. The Scriptures tell us, that would be the Old Testament, that Abraham, there's Abraham again, believed God, and that is why God canceled his sin and declared him not guilty. But didn't Abraham earn his right to heaven by all the good things he did? No, for being saved is a gift. If a person could earn it by being good, then it wouldn't be free, but it is. It is given to those who what? Don't work for it. Now let me give you a little simple illustration. And most people, I find this fairly effective illustration. I hope you find it this way. It's like if somebody in the congregation at Christmas time wanted to give me a Christmas present. Okay? And I say, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. How much do I owe you? No, Pastor, this is a gift. Yeah, I know. How much do I owe you? You get the point? If I want to pay for it, it's no longer what? That's the way it is with Jesus. If we want to do something to get to heaven and have a good relationship with God by how good we are, what we want to do, then it's no longer a gift, is it? See, it's a gift. God gives it to us because of Jesus Christ. So it can't be both. It's either a gift or we're on our own. But you can't have a gift and you earn it. You don't earn a gift. Okay? Very important. Galatians 5:4, the great apostle Paul writing to a group of churches which today would be central Turkey. This was a Roman province called Galatia. He says, you are severed from Christ, you who would be justified by what? You have fallen from, see, can't be work and gifts too. Now let me give you a real quick background what was going on here, okay? Paul was on a missionary journey. You can read about it in the book of Acts. And so he's going around preaching and teaching the good news of Jesus Christ. The Holy Spirit brings people to faith in Jesus Christ. They form a congregation. They call a pastor. They're off and running. And Paul goes back to his headquarters in Antioch. And then later on, he tells some of his missionary friends, why don't we go back and see how they're doing? And so they look at him and things like this. And then he encourages them and he goes back to Antioch. And then this is what happens. Without Paul's knowledge, some Jewish Christians from Jerusalem showed up at this church. And I'm paraphrasing. They basically said, did the Apostle Paul tell you that you're saved by faith in Jesus and faith alone? Yeah, that's great, isn't it? By the way, these would all be non-Jews, Gentiles. Well, that's not really completely right. It's not? Well, no. You got to remember, Paul wasn't one of the original apostles, was he? Oh, that's right. Now, and I'm paraphrasing what's in the book of Galatians. You can read it on your own. But when they said that to these people, what were they trying to do to Paul's authority? Undermine it, right? He wasn't one of the original 12, was he? Oh, gosh, that's right. Sort of implying, well, maybe he didn't get the gospel right then either, right? Oh, that's right. Well, what's the truth? Well, if you want to be saved, it's true. Paul got this part. You have to believe in Jesus. That's true. But if you're going to be saved, in addition to believe in Jesus, you have to keep the law, or you can't be saved. Oh, okay. These are Gentiles. They don't know the Jewish. Oh, okay. Well, Paul got wind of this. Woo. You want to read some stern language from Paul, I hope you'll go maybe this week read the letter to the Galatians. And at one point, this is what Paul says to the congregation, right? You are what from Christ? You are what? You are severed from Christ. You would be justified by law. You have fallen from grace. You can't have it both ways, Galatians. You're either saved the way I told you, by grace and it's a gift, or you're going to earn it. But don't try to mix it all together. You can't do that. So if you think that you have to contribute something to your salvation, you're cut off from Christ. You're no longer a Christian. You might be religious. Now I'm doing this on purpose. You might be religious. You might look good to people, but you're not a Christian. Okay? Because you can't be saved by works and also by grace. So that's very strong language. Then look at Romans 3:28, Paul's letter to the Romans. Therefore we conclude a man is, there's that word again, justified by faith, what? without the deeds of the law. Now, just for sake of clarity, so nobody gets confused, and we've said it many times, that doesn't mean that we're not supposed to do good works. We are supposed to do good works, aren't we? And if we have a real life faith in Jesus Christ, we will do good works and we'll want to do good works, right? But they don't add to our salvation. And the easiest way to remember that, okay, is if we have 100% salvation through faith, then what can our petty little works do to add to that?
And how ridiculous to think that it would.
Exactly, because our works are just as good as what happened to the Son of God on the cross.
Begin to match that.
It's exactly, no way. So we're not against good works, but we're just simply saying good works don't contribute to our salvation. Jesus did that all for us, right? Okay, so from this we learn, I cannot contribute anything to my salvation. Forgiveness and heaven are mine wholly by God's grace, for Christ's sake, through faith, because faith is the only way I can receive that.